Today's show, we're talking about Lions and 49ers. What does the line look at? You know, how is it looking for Detroit going to San Fran? Dan Campbell speaks to the media about that game and playing the starters. What did he say? What did it mean? We're going to get into that. The power rankings. The Detroit Lions defeated the Chicago Bears. Where are they sitting from the mainstream media? Playoff bracket. What seeding for the Lions? We're going to go through each scenario of the seeding, what the Lions can be. NFC North as well, because it's a tough, really tough division. Tomorrow, dropping a video, Lions vs. 49ers. I'm making it actually right after this video. So if I don't hear from you before Thursday, I want to wish you a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy New Year's, all that lovely stuff. Let's get started right now. The Detroit Lions are heading to San Francisco in a big game for Detroit. Lions are 13-2. Their offense, they're putting up 32.9 points per game. That's best in the NFL. Going against a defense that's allowing 23.3, 21st in the NFL. The San Francisco 49ers are putting up 22.1 points per game, 16th in the NFL. And the Lions defense are allowing 19.9 points per game, 7th best in the NFL. I'm going to take the over on both. I think that's the case here. The Lions defense has gotten, it's getting passed on because of the injuries, and so I expect that to continue to be the case. Again, the game is going to be Sunday Night Football, 8:15 p.m. Eastern Time. Lions favored by 3.5 points. The total over is 51.5, and the underdogs is San Francisco at 3.5. I actually think this is a perfect line for betting line. So, in all honesty, I would just take the bet right there. It's a really good line. I think they did a good job this time at Vegas. Who do you got winning the game? The Detroit Lions. Put DET in the comment section. Put SF if you got the 49ers. Dan Campbell spoke to the media about playing the starters, and this is what he said. He says, I'll make this easy for everybody. That way all the critics can jump out and start attacking. But that way you don't have to debate anymore. Campbell said on Monday, we're bringing everything that we have to this game. And we're playing it. I don't care what it looks like. It's out there. And who's this? Who's that? We're going out to play and win this game out of the West Coast. So there you go. You say, why would he be saying this? Why is it a big deal? Of course the Lions are going to want to win the game. Well, if the Vikings lose earlier in the day, and the Detroit Lions they win the game, they hold the number one seed, and they win the NFC North. So of course they're going to play to win the game, folks. And we lost to San Francisco in the NFC Championship last year. And they like to play to win. They did that last year in the Minnesota game. They did it throughout their tenure is they play their starters. This is what they do. We need to get our revenge in this game. Now, look, if we're ahead and it's the fourth quarter and we're ahead by a mile, of course they're going to pull the starters. But if it's a close game, folks, you have to play to win this game. You have to. You have to. I would rather, if Minnesota loses, I want the Lions to win. If Minnesota wins, I want the Lions to win. We need to win the game. You play to win the game. We got 13 wins. Let's get to 14 wins, right? Let's keep winning. Let's bring that momentum in the postseason, in the playoffs. We're banged up. I get it. But you got to play to win the game. So even if San Francisco wins, if Minnesota wins earlier, we still play to win the game. If they lose, we still play to win the game. So we just play to win the game. That's what we got to do because we're talking about playoffs here. So what do you guys think in this one? What do you guys think? Do you want the Lions to play to win the game? I do. I think that's the best way to go. Let's go ahead and jump into some power rankings really quick, done by the mainstream media. Sports Illustrated got the Detroit Lions sitting at second. That is a moved up from one. So Sports Illustrated stars the Lions win the Super Bowl. Now they moved up to second. CBS Sports HQ went from 4 to 3. Pete Prisco put them up a spot. The Athletic went from 3 to 2, another spot. ESPN 3 to 2. Yahoo Sports third. USA Today second. So then they went up one spot. The Detroit Lions they took a lot of beating last year in the media with all the injuries. Everybody said it's over. Everybody said the Lions season is over. Even a lot of fans were jumping on board saying everything is done. That's not the case, folks. This team is good. Just because we got injuries doesn't mean it's good. Alex Anzalone could be returning, right? Jalen Reeves-Maybin soon will be returning. Could be this week. I don't know if Alex could be maybe the Minnesota game, right? Carlton Davis, they're saying NFC Championship game. Aiden Hutchinson saying championship or Super Bowl. Who knows about Derek Barnes? But we're we just got Iffy back. Ifutu Melifonwu, who's been helping this team out last year significantly. Now he's back while we're making our playoff run. So, yeah, I know we're banged up, and it sucks. Losing Carlton Davis, to me, was probably the worst one. And Lee McNeil going out for years. Horrible. Carlton Davis, though, our secondary has been chewed up a little bit, and having him on the field makes life easier. It does make life easier, but I still think that the Lions are a really, really good quality football team, folks. I do, and I'm not saying that they're going to lose out or anything like that. I think they're good. Give a score prediction for the game on Sunday when the Lions are facing the San Francisco 49ers. Score prediction, don't care. NFC North, as you know, the Minnesota Vikings won. They are 13-2. They are the biggest competitor for the Detroit Lions at 13-2. We'll get into the playoff clinching scenarios in a second after this. Green Bay won last night. It has no effect on the NFC North, but they're playoff clinching. So we got 3 teams in the NFC North that's going to be in the playoffs. That is big. It's 3 teams. So there's a great chance we're going to have to face the NFC North team even after next week's game versus the Minnesota Vikings. The odds are we'll be facing one of the NFC North teams at some point. If we get the bye, we wait till the divisional round. Chicago sitting at the bottom here. Let's go ahead and look at the playoff standings for you guys. Detroit Lions sitting at 13-2. Philadelphia Eagles, even though their score is they're 12-3, they're sitting at the number 2 seed. LA Rams, wow, I didn't mess up. Didn't change the graphics there. They're sitting at 9-6. Atlanta Falcons are 8-7. Minnesota Vikings are 13-2. So they're the 5th seed. So this is the thing. If the Lions don't win the NFC North, they could be from the number 1 seed to the 5th seed. It's crazy. Green Bay sitting at the 6th seed at 11-4. And Washington Commanders at 10-5. And the Washington, Green Bay, Minnesota, Detroit, Philadelphia, they're going to make the playoffs. We're just trying to figure out what's going to happen with the West and the South of the NFC. So that's pretty much what it's looking like right there. Let's get into some playoff clinching scenarios here. For the Lions to get the number 1 seed, this is what we need. The Lions need to beat the 49ers, as we know. Packers defeat the Vikings. Lions-Vikings outcome doesn't matter. So if the Lions win on Sunday and the Vikings lose, Lions get the number 1 seed. They win the NFC North. Next week, big for Detroit. If the Lions beat the 49ers, Lions tie versus the Vikings, they get the number 1 seed, win the NFC North. If the Lions lose, the Vikings lose, Lions tie the Vikings, Eagles lose the remaining game, one of the remaining game, then the Lions can get the number 1 seed, and obviously win the NFC North. That seems like an unlikely scenario. Lions simply beat the Vikings. That's how you do it. So if we can lose on Sunday, we beat the Vikings next week. Guess what, folks? The Lions are the number 1 seed. To get the number 2 seed, the Lions lose to the 49ers. Vikings lose to the Packers. Lions-Vikings tie. Eagles win the final 2 games. That seems unlikely. Lions get the number 5 seed if the Lions lose to the 49ers. Vikings beat the Packers, and Lions and Vikings tie. Lions lose to the Vikings beat the Packers. Or, if you prefer, lay it out another way. The other way is, because it didn't have to fit here, if Vikings lose a million different scenarios. In a million different scenarios. So, here's what the Lions need to do. This is what they truly need to do for this game. Still taking 1 game at a time. That's what we got to do. Take 1 game at a time and win the game versus San Francisco on Sunday. That's what they need to do here. Who do you got winning the game on Sunday? DET for Detroit, SF for the 49ers. That's what they got to do. Go out there and beat San Francisco. And I'm about to do the breakdown video, so you'll see it tomorrow. Shockingly, the numbers for San Francisco, when it comes to offense, defense is not that bad. The turnover differential is bad, and their win-loss record is bad. So this is going to be still going to be a tough game, and you're going to see it in my breakdown video for tomorrow. The 49ers are not going to just lay down, I don't think. Even though they're out of the playoffs, they're out of the postseason hunt, they're probably still playing for pride. But the Lions are the better football team. When it comes to the Vikings, come on, Green Bay, we need your help big time. Green Bay, get the win. Seattle almost pulled it off, but they had to throw an interception at the end of the game. So we need big league. We need that to occur. We need the Detroit Lions to win and the Vikings to lose. If that happens, folks, we get that number 1 seed. We get a bye week. And help is right there. Help is right there. Divisional round without some studs, and help is right there. So we're getting so freaking close. And I know we're all just kind of like one game into it. We're all antsy. We're all getting cray-cray. I am. You are. That's the way that it is. But we're going to let these guys play it out. See what happens with our Detroit Lions on this big game coming up Monday Night Football next week. Folks, Merry Christmas to you. Happy holidays. Make sure you enjoy it with your family. That's more important than any of the football here. All of that is the lovely Christmas and holidays. Spend it with the family. Adios.